welcome to the Trinity Force Podcast. Yo, it's that Triforce cast beaming straight to your home. Grab a beer so we know Pone ain't drinking alone. Send an email, a quick tweet, just pick up the phone. Leave a message at the beep if you're a creep, watch your tone. Discuss the meta game, patch notes, whatever helps your stats most. Obi-Pone Kenobi is your last hope to snatch gold. So grab your headphones and join in the fun. We'll try and force in some jokes and some cringeworthy puns. Yo, we can make it together, people. Trinity Force Podcast. These boys are second to none. Now that's the end of the intro. It's time we begun.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 775 of the Trinity Force Podcast. I'm your host, N.A. Eric, and tonight we have patch 12.14 provisional changes with the whole crew right now. So you can see in the top right of your screen, you see Sean, we have John, and Kai broke his camera somehow. We don't know how. He says that it just randomly broke. We'll see if we believe his story on that. But
my name is Eric, and I make false accusations.
Ooh, okay, coming in hot. I like it. I guess I came in hot first, but I guess since you already spoke, Kaib, how you doing, man?
Fuck jungle. I'm out of here.
Why do you say
I'm
that?
out of there. Do what?
Why do you say that?
I'm so tired of playing jungle and solo queue. I've talked about how we have a couple, or I play on a couple different competitive teams like draft and then pre-made, but like I don't mind playing jungle like whatsoever. I actually really enjoy it there.
Yep.
But solo queue, it's just I'm just so tired of laners expecting me to win their lane for them. Like I've never been a big like turn chat off guy. I've turned it off officially now. So
Really?
yeah, I
Yikes.
don't know. And I like playing the champions in mid more. So I'm gonna be shifting to mid.
Okay.
Which played in Clash this weekend. Did really well the first night, and then the second night when we were playing in the higher tier as the pod team, I didn't solo int the games away, so that felt good.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, you did pretty decent.
I don't feel like the reason we lost the game we can't point fingers at me, which is what I was shooting for.
Yeah, the games we lost were pointing fingers at multiple different stuff across multiple different people.
Right. I just didn't want it to be, oh, it's Kaib's fault we lost.
I mean, we all had a team meeting afterwards and decided that it was your fault, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Secret team meeting.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
This just in. I gotta go. Bye.
Okay. How's life going outside of League? Everything going good for you?
Yeah, we're chilling. I don't know. Live with my fucking parents, so that's not great, but whatever.
Did you complete your chores for the day?
Yeah. My chores include running the German Shepherds so that they leave us alone while we work.
Nice. That's some energetic dogs right there.
Yeah, I just take them out and throw the tennis balls like probably 30 or 40 times, just one after another, run them up and down the yard, and then they're good to go for like 2 hours. Then I got to do it again.
Gotcha. They take a nap for a bit, and then they're like, "Okay, we have energy. Bring us outside again. Come on, come on."
Honestly, yeah, they sit at the back door and just whine and bitch.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay. John, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel like I've having the opposite experience as Kai as far as jungle goes. Like I've been starting to play it more again and been enjoying it. I'm playing some Rengar, Rek'Sai, Graves.
All the junglers that other junglers hate facing. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, allow me to say I don't really play junglers that like Rek'Sai and Rengar. Like, yeah, you can carry a game on those. Like, I play Volibear. Like, eventually I'm just gonna fucking fall off. Like, congratulations, they can't kill me, but my laners have now died so many times that it's just like, okay, they can't kill everybody before the enemy can kill me. So that's where I'm pretty much at. They're not strong enough going into fights, and it sucks when they nerf Volibear, so the the E and W damage just doesn't cut it anymore.
It was
It was needed. It was needed.
Okay.
Though.
Yeah, he was strong. He was for sure strong. He's still pretty good though. He's definitely not bad.
He's
Sounds
okay.
like the old tank problem to me. That's,
Yeah.
I know last
Yeah.
season I played a ton of Malphite, and there's so many games that's like the exact feeling you get where like you play fine in lane, and then like you ult into a team fight, and then your whole team is just dead. Like it's a little rough. Like you can definitely get like playing tanks and like falling off is like the worst feeling in the game. I feel like.
Yeah. Or like you're playing decent, and then Fiddlesticks just comes over the wall and gets a quadra kill against your team.
Yeah,
And even like the champion, like I play Vi. Like yeah, I can carry a game on Vi, but when her entire champion identity is to dive, like someone's backline, like I'm gonna get blown up. I might take one or two with me, but if the team can't finish the fight after that, like it's just pointless.
yeah, you definitely like. Maybe I would say you have to change the tank junglers you're playing then, because Rammus works most of the time unless you're facing a specific few champions. Just Trundle is an absolute nightmare. Other than that, though, it's really not all that bad. I think Shyvana is probably really rough right now, but otherwise you can deal with them then, or uh, pick up Trundle's kind of tanky. He's kind of a tank, or Skarner. Just
Yeah.
place. It's just swap the tank out, because Volley, he's not. He's gonna continue to get worse, I think. So just swap your tanks you're playing.
I think the biggest issue is I don't enjoy the champions in jungle as much,
Ah,
and then the
Gotcha.
fact that I hate playing it in solo queue and being no matter what, it's always jungle's fault. But I mean,
yeah. Then you shouldn't play jungle champs if you don't enjoy it. That's what it's most about. This is a game.
prefer playing the champions in mid. Like
Hit him with that tailor-made Corki.
if I'm
Yours.
expected to carry, I'm gonna play champions that can carry, aka I'm gonna play Victor and blow you up.
Yeah, I don't love being I don't dislike being the carry, but I would so much rather prefer being put on like Poppy duty or Rammus or like Skarner or something, where it's just like, all right, I'm sitting here. I'm meant to be a meatball, so they can't get to my team and get to the carries. I don't have to do anything mechanically intensive. I just go and press R and make sure that I'm not super out of position, but I can take some punches and position well around
and
it.
most of the mid laners that I play, like what did I play in Clash last night?
You played Swain, Corky, and Lux.
Okay, so like I would say more times than not, I play champions like Swain, Seraphine, Ari, Lysandra, like the utility stuff. So like I'm still somewhat being a facilitator, but if need be, like if I get ahead on Ari or Lysandra, I'm just shifting to a Ludens build pretty early. If not, I'll just go whatever it's called. What's
Everfrost.
the Everfrost? That one, yeah. And then I do play like Lux and Victor, which I guess their main objective is to blow people up, but
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Sean, how you doing, man? You still been? I mean, we played some Val last night. I think that's mostly what you've been playing, right? Not been playing so much League lately.
Yeah, I've been playing a ton of Valorant. It's mostly because like my best friend from like basically my whole life, I think we met like 6th grade, is playing a ton of it. So I've basically just been playing with him, and I was bronze. No, I was silver 3. It's like opposite in Valorant from League. So like the high is like the low. So I think it's silver. I was silver 1, I guess, for like I don't know, like an hour, and then I lost 2 games and went back to bronze within that period of time. So a little rough. I'm trash at the game like completely, but I've just been having a lot more fun with it lately than League, honestly.
You're better than me. We played last night, and you were killing it at
I
deathmatch.
don't think I was. I was playing like shit last night. I think you like outfragged me both games.
Not in the deathmatch. Deathmatch, I was there the whole time. You were gone half the time, and you still finished way higher than me. I'm terrible at that. In the icebox game, I did better. And then I don't know what other map we played on, but Fracture. I was doing well in that game too, doing some Yoru trickery.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really give a shit about deathmatch scores. Like, I've played a ton of deathmatch, so like, I mean, it makes sense that I would play better than you in that. But like, I'd say like the actual games matter more probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I have my like on and off days. I've noticed like if I play a lot in a row, I start playing like complete trash after like 2 or 3 games. Like, I don't know. I probably just don't have enough experience. My brain kind of turns off at that point, and I'm just not playing well. So like, I guess the thing is like I have like thousands of hours on leagues, so I can play like these long ass sessions, like 5 6 hour sessions, and be fine. But with Valorant, I like fall off super fast. Is like the main problem I've been running into.
I,
But
I find it helps for longevity with Valorant if I have some substances in my system.
yeah, that's fair. I usually I'll like drink like coffee if I'm playing. Usually, it's like caffeine's like the go-to.
Yeah,
I think
caffeine
like maybe
works.
like one beer, possibly. I know for like shooting, like professional shooting, beer's like actually like outlawed because it like helps calm your nerves or some shit like that. So it's like considered like a performance enhancing drug, which is kind of funny. Maybe it's the same for Valorant. I don't know.
Also, very unsafe to shoot guns after you've been drinking.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. That's a big point there.
Yeah, you're talking about like professional like shooters though, like Olympians and I don't know,
Yeah,
shit like
I mean,
that.
they're still human, and alcohol makes people make bad
I
decisions.
I mean like one beer. They drink like 1 or 2 beers to like calm nerves. I don't mean like getting like hammered while you're trying to like professionally shoot, but I don't know, whatever.
I
I'm
just
like
wanted to. I think we just wanted to make it clear that the Trinity Force podcast does not
yeah,
endorse drinking and shooting guns at the same in the same session,
yeah.
well, I fully endorse it. Just one has to come before the other.
and the shooting has to come before the drinking.
Yes, yes. The guns are in the safe before the drinking begins.
Yep. So
But yeah, I mean real life wise, I've still been doing the intermittent fasting. Done like 2 pounds, which in a week is I mean that's pretty good.
that is pretty
So
good.
I mean it's working. I don't know. I haven't been doing much else, just work and
Okay. Any more car troubles this
gaming.
week, or are you basically good for car wise?
Yeah, the Jetta's been running great actually. It's probably one of the nicest cars I've owned, honestly. And
Volkswagen Jetta, here we go.
yeah, I'm fairly happy with it right now. So I haven't run into any problems with it.
It won't be great for traction come winter, I will say. It doesn't do it's not like a bad winter car, but for the snow and stuff that we get, it's like it's not gonna give you a ton of traction sometimes. So
Yeah, I mean it's a front wheel drive, which they're not terrible. They're kind of in between.
yeah.
I know I've owned a Mustang in the past and tried to drive it in winter, and it was like the most miserable experience of my life because rear-wheel drive cars get super bad traction, and like I bought it like in winter, and there was like maybe like a 1/4 inch of snow on the ground, and the car would not move in any snow at all. So I had to go get snow
Jesus.
tires on it right away.
Oh,
And even then, it was terrible. It was scary to drive in winter.
Jesus. Okay. Well, yeah, the Jetta won't be that bad, but you won't be able to do donuts all that well in the parking lot of your local Coburn's or Cub Foods or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's definitely not my thing. I've got a bunch of those guys in my area, but I'm not a big donut guy or like whipping shitties or whatever.
Yeah. I would love to do it, but I just don't know how, and I don't want to try to learn because I feel like I'll destroy my car or flip the car or something. So I'm cool not
like
knowing.
drifting?
Yeah, drifting. Yeah, no.
So, yeah, my one of my buddies growing up, he his family had a like timber business, He had a timber farm, and they I mean, so because of that, they had a ton of land, and I mean, we did that kind of stuff. Like it was a ton of fun because they would just have huge fields, and like it didn't matter if like the fields got messed up because they were just gonna like do work to the fields anyway. So we would just like run cars through them and stuff like that. But I mean, they had so much land that like stuff like that didn't matter.
Nice.
But it was a lot of fun, honestly. It's a ton of fun.
I'd be more willing to try it if there was that. But for me, it's like, oh, there's an empty parking lot at night that's full of snow. Okay, I could try it there, or I could not because it's not safe and I don't own the land or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I feel like the land too is part of the appeal of it.
it
The place
is.
was awesome.
It is. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's get to the matters at hand, gentlemen, and Kaib. So we have patch 12 point. We have patch 12.14, and we're doing the provisional notes today because we're recording a couple days early to fit in some additional other content, which will be revealed at a later date. But yeah, so there's a lot of changes on here. A couple of these things we can't exactly find because there's some things that say see previous tweet, and we haven't been able to find some of those previous tweets right now, but we found some of them. But there's a lot of changes, so we're going to talk about some of them and run through the others, but all will be covered, rest assured, viewers. So the first one, I mean, Kaib, you were excited about this one. Why don't you run through Pantheon for us?
Okay, I will run through Pantheon for you. So Pantheon Jungle, you know, well, was it Worlds last year where it was just like, wasn't it 4 positions just broken? Like, they just had to be banned at all times.
Pantheon, it was no, that was season.
Was that season 10?
That was season 10. Or it might have been season 9. It was season 9 actually that he was reworked recently before and was broken everywhere, and they just
Okay.
He had 100% ban rate. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So, after all that, they applied a bunch of nerfs to him, took him out of the jungle, and now they're putting him back in the jungle. So his Q damage to monsters is going from 70% up. I mean, as in standing early game champion, so him having that much damage, coming out of the jungle can get his clear done quicker. He can realistically 2 or 1 camp cheese gank mid or something.
Yeah,
I could see Pantheon Jungle taking over because of this.
I totally agree with you. So I checked the stats to see ahead of time, and no one's playing it, but on this patch at least. And I tried before we started here. I tried a clear to see, and solo. I mean, he's not meant to do a full clear. He's not a full clear jungler, but full clearing with 1 scuttle crab, starting just on my own in practice tool, just for 1 time through, took like 345, 350 or so, and I burned
that a full clear.
Full clear with 1 scuttle crab, burned both smites and my refillable pots, and I was half health. Yeah, it was not great, but overall, I mean, Pantheon wouldn't be going red, Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Scuttle Crab, Blue, Grump. Like, that's not what would happen. You'd go red. You might do Raptors. Like, I would say, like, red Raptors, Wolves, Blue would be a good path because he has the Q AoE.
I could realistically see a world where, because the Q is AoE, like, I can see a world where, like, if you're pre-game planning out your paths, I think it would be better in competitive for this than like solo queue. But like you could definitely 3 camp your red side, like just go Raptors down, and that Q damage will be more than enough to keep you healthy. Like I can 100% see a world where you just start your Raptors solo and then go bot lane.
Yeah,
or you can look mid. But
the big trouble for me was Krugs take forever with him. They take so long with him on just no items at all. So that was why that like took. I say Krugs probably took a good 20, 25 seconds to go through. It took a long time to get through the Krugs. Raptors, yeah, super fast. So it could also be a sort of thing where I remember like last year or a year and a half ago or so, people were just like when Lilia came out, she was just going and just stealing people's Raptors and then running back and doing her own camps. You could totally do that on Pantheon right now. Just run over there, steal their Raptors at the start, and then run away. Because he could probably like 2 Qs, and the Q is on a 5-second cooldown after you, if you just tap it. Like this is a big deal for the 35% percentage point increase. But it's worth noting this is not their original what they originally were going to put. It was going to be what 130, I think.
130, which is absolutely insane.
Like the Morgana thing they did.
Yeah, and I didn't see, but they obviously thought that it was too much. Do you guys see how fast some people were clearing, or how impactful it was? Because PB obviously it was too strong; they had to pull it down.
I mean, so I didn't see any videos of like outrageous clears or anything, but I think I would think that it would be more so how quickly someone could get to a lane for a level 2 cheese with W. Like, because like if you're playing against like Rammus or Jarvan, like you kind of expect it, and you know that it's gonna be there 140, 145. And I mean, if it's at 130%, if you get 2 Qs off your Raptors, you're dead, like easily. So if you
Yeah,
just took your Raptors, I mean, that camp might take you 7 seconds to do it.
yeah. The Q it was. I'm just looking. It was supposed to be 120 on release, and because I remember seeing that Vanderil released a video of him clearing through the jungle, and it's absurd how fast he's clearing camps. I'm just watching it right now. It's disgusting. And so yeah, it got reduced by 15 percentage points, but he's smashing this Q into these monsters. It's absurd. Yeah, he like Pantheon Jungle is I think going to be decent now.
I think it's gonna be better than decent, honestly, because he's such a good early game champion. Like he is so good the second he hits level 3.
But he falls off so hard.
He does, but if you play it correctly, like like if I hadn't already made the decision to leave, I would just spam Pantheon. Like I would just show up to lanes. I wouldn't give a shit about farming at all. Like I'd get level 3 and just show up to lanes and just try and murder people. Like if a laner has any kind of a CC, like it's a blown flash easily. Come
Yeah, I
back
think
30 seconds later, they're dead.
Yeah, I think as Pantheon, like jungle, playing for mid and bot would be good. Definitely, even though like top, I mean, could work, but I just feel like Pantheon falls off hard. So getting like either mid or bot ahead.
I
just
feel like
seems
it really enables the ability to take just 2 hyperscalers. Like I mean, granted, people are already doing it, but like I wouldn't feel bad about running Victor Jinx with Pantheon Jungle because you can just show up and get them kills early. They scale faster.
Especially if you're going to take Predator, which I think would be a very good combination.
Yeah,
Although,
if
I mean,
your
press the attack
if
is
your
going to be the
entire
best.
purpose, yeah, if your entire purpose is early game, get your carries ahead, and then be a stun bot for them later, like a heal stun, like Predator is completely fine. I don't, I do, like you said, Eric. I think PTA is still going to be better to ensure that the damage gets done early, but I mean, I don't know. Like we have a match Friday, and these buffs go in Wednesday. I will be playing Pantheon Jungle up.
Yeah, same.
My last match of Aegis, I will be playing Pantheon both games.
Assuming that it feels decent to you leading up to then.
I don't care if it does.
Oh,
I'm playing it.
okay.
No, I'll try it out first.
Yeah.
I'll force myself to play games.
I will say I have one buddy that for whatever reason he's been playing Pantheon Jungle for like 2 or 3 months now, and I don't know what inspired him. It seems like just like a random ass pick, but it was like it's like one of like the most like hit or miss things I've seen in league. Like it's either like you like snowball and like you get a bunch of kills and then you are just gonna be super useful throughout the game, or you're basically just useless. Like you try to get off your one stun on somebody and like hope that's useful enough, but usually it's not. So like I'd imagine like obviously like helping his jungle clear is gonna help him with pretty much everything. Like he just gets to be on the map more often, but I don't see that like changing it that much. It's still just gonna be this like either snowball early or lose the game basically.
Yeah, it's just helping the snowball is already it like grows a little faster now is all that it is. You're right, Sean. If he gets behind, Pantheon Jungle is still going to be just pressing W and that's it, and maybe negating some damage with his E, and he offers nothing else. So we'll see, but I think we're all pretty excited to try out some Pantheon. But next one we have is Jarvan. Seems pretty inconsequential, but his Q bonus AD ratio is going up by 20 percentage points. So it's now 140, and his E cooldown is going to scale down with level down to 10 seconds. The flag is not that. I mean, the E, that's the flag. I don't think that's a big deal. And the Q, yeah, it's not. It's not going to do all that much unless you're building lethality Jarvan, in which case you will love these changes. But so that's Jarvan. Teemo is getting buffed as well. So good luck top laners. Mana regen is going up by 5 per level. So he'll have another 90 mana at level 18. His R range, the range where you can throw the mushrooms, is up early. It scales to the same. The AP ratio on the mushrooms is going up by 5 percentage points, so they're slightly stronger. And then the mana cost is going to go down with rank as well, so it's going to go as low as 35 mana to throw a shroom down, which is pretty big. So we'll see how that works and see how much more his win rates jump up from that. We have Alistair, who's getting his Q mana is going from, it's going down by 10 at all ranks, which is pretty big because he has a really shit mana pool. But and they're all, I mean, it's not that big, but then also his Q is going down by 1 second at all ranks, which doesn't do a big deal because he's not using it off of cooldown. So again, kind of inconsequential. And then this next one we wanted to go through. So John, do you want to take us through LeBlanc?
Yeah, sure. So her base mana is getting raised from 334 to 400. Her mana per level is going up from 50 to 55. And then she's getting a little nudge on her W damage late game, but her early unchanged.
Yeah, I mean, my first initial thoughts was this is one we need to cover because her mana, okay, sure, like she can spam a little bit more because she's getting more mana per level and her base mana is a little higher, but the W damage is big because I don't quite know how this affects her thresholds of being able to execute the casters or even a full wave, but she is going to have 20 extra damage on her W at level 9 because this is her first max, and so that's a lot. And then when you put that in with her mimic is going to do even more damage on top of that. This is like, it's a pretty big deal because this is her power spike right around that level 9 to level 12, 13, 14. That's when she's in her highest point relative to a lot of other champions as well. So I don't know, I feel like it's not the biggest buffs, but it's a big enough that we should talk about it, and I think it's big enough where mid laners are going to feel more threatened against her as well because all of the AP assassin items got put in the trash can after the durability update, and so they buffed Vex last patch, and she feels better, and now they're buffing LeBlanc as well. I think like this is, I don't know, I'm a little bit more scared of LeBlanc now
I'm terrified.
because of this change, or were you already terrified?
So I don't really if somebody plays LeBlanc into me, I just default to playing Victor and trying to catch farm that feels free. Um, which pretty easy to farm on Victor. Like, yeah, I'll have to back sooner and everything if I'm spamming spells, but I've never really. I mean, I haven't been playing mid that long, but I haven't really figured out how to play against LeBlanc with her W and then her R subsequently. But this, I think, anytime a champion like LeBlanc who wants to put out a lot of damage early with jungle pressure, right? 'Cause she can form some really strong 2v2s.
Yeah.
Her getting what did she get in mana? An additional 66. I mean, that's one extra spell guaranteed that she gets to pump out. Like, personally, I think that that's huge.
Plus
There's an
another
additional 15.
90 overall throughout the game as well.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like early,
Sure.
right? So if you get to level 4 or 3 or 4 when a jungler shows up, I mean, there's an additional 15 mana plus the 66 from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty huge in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a free spell rotation almost.
I don't know. I'm also gonna have to learn how to play her.
She's also someone that's using her abilities off of cooldown as well for the most part. Maybe not the chain, but the Q and the W for sure. So this is like it allows her to use one extra spell rotation ish in lane. Pretty big.
I will say, just like adding on to Kai, like switching to mid, like that's always the thing I find when I go mid is like I like the lane. There are like a bunch of champions I like, but it's just like there's so many like disgusting champions mid, man, that you have to like learn to play against, like LeBlanc, Zed, Yasuo, Yone, like all these champions. They feel so bad to play against. You make one mistake and then like all of a sudden they're like 10-0. Like I guess that's my biggest problem. What I always find when I like think I'm gonna switch mid. I'm just throwing it
Yeah,
out there.
I think my biggest fears, champion wise, mid, definitely LeBlanc. But my permaban every single game, unless I see my jungler hovering it for some reason, is Zed every single game. I don't care about playing against Yasuo or Yone compared to like Zed, LeBlanc, and Katarina.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah, that's fair.
when I
And
get
if I
auto
play against Yasuo, I just play Vex.
when I get
Just
auto
try and
yeah.
spam spells down enough to where he can't all in me.
When I get mid, which is super rare, if a lot of times I'm just gonna play Nico, and Nico can deal with all that stuff. Just throw out tangle barbs, and it's not that big of a deal.
That's another champion I need to learn how to play. Eric, you want to teach me how to play Nico?
Sure. Coaching sessions are $15 a second. But I know I'm hilarious. Yep. So cool. Be afraid, everyone. LeBlanc getting the buff. Next one, Sean, do you want to talk about this seemingly inconsequential buff for Varus and why it could be bigger than it first seems?
Sure, it's just 3 base AD on Varus, which I mean it's little, but like for AD carries, obviously you auto attack a shitload throughout the game, so like it does help a lot. And also for like the little things like CSing can make like a big difference. That can be like 5 to 10 extra CS you might have missed a game, which I mean like stuff like that adds up over time. Like I feel like right now Varus is in a fairly bad spot still. It seemed like there was kind of a resurgence of like on hit 80 carries for a little bit, with like Kog'Maw coming back for a while there, I guess. And it just felt like he kind of did everything Varus did but better. And then like they obviously nerfed the shit out of his lethality build because it's busted in pro play. So I don't know if this is gonna be enough to bring Varus back into meta, but I sure would like to. He's one of my favorite champions, and I don't play him just because they're like 80 carry. There's just way better options right now. Like Twitch is still like Omega busted, or like New Silver is pretty good, and
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yep. If I'm looking, this doesn't affect his E because his E is bonus AD, and his W and R only have AP ratios, but his Q is a total AD ratio. So this does contribute a little bit to his to his Q cooldown, or his Q damage as well. But yeah, and he also likes to skirmish early because he's strong early, especially if you go in the lethality build with Hail of Blades. Like you got to fear Varus early on. He's got a lot of damage. So this is 3 every second, and it compounds more if you're going on hit. So yeah, these buffs always seem small, but they're always bigger than we think. Just like with movement speed, just like with shoot, I don't know, mana regen a lot of the times is big depending on the champion, things like that. Yeah. Any other thoughts, John or Kaib?
Nope, nothing for me. I mean, I look at it as the classic Graves example, and you know, anytime they've ever adjusted his AD, it seems to just break the game for half a patch until they hotfix it. I'm kind of expecting the same thing here.
I don't think it'll go that high because right now he's got a 48.5% win rate. Like he's not that good right now. And also there's he's a lot more exploitable than Graves is too, because of his lack of mobility and lack of durability innate in his kit, which Graves for some reason gets 200 free armor. So
True.
yeah. He'll go up though for sure. I'm expecting him to be like mid 49% win rate after this.
Thing I like about I like playing Varus too. One thing I like about him that I feel like I forget about sometimes is the Grievous wins that he has. It's like if you can play against a lane that has healing, and you have like an engaged support or something like that. I mean, it's 30% Grievous win, so it hits pretty hard early as far as the healing. The healing is almost like non-existent early if you use your E properly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so he's a good counter to all the enchanters that are flying around the Rift these days.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, so that's it for champion buffs that we have. Champion nerfs. So Sivir is the first one. She already had a hot fix, which I don't quite know what the hot fix was. Do any of you guys know what the hot fix that she had was? No, I'm pretty sure she had a hot fix. Maybe not though.
It looks like it was something to the like cast time under a Q as far as
Okay.
It's probably a consistency thing as far as like a quality of life thing.
Gotcha.
They're changing it by like on the way back, it's 0.08 of a second less. So I don't know what that does, but it's probably something to just make it feel better.
Sure. Yeah, so that's what they're changing here, and they're also reducing the minion damage on the ricochet by 15 percentage points, and then now they're adding a bounces that last hit minions that are less than 15 HP get executed they just get last hit, which feels nice, I'm sure. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that it says that this is a nerf. I really don't think this is that much of a nerf though, as my initial thought, just because. Yeah, okay, those buffs or the bounces that last hit minions, obviously a quality of life buff. The Q cast time is a bug fix. Don't think it really does that much. And then the W minion damage is lower, but is it enough to offset the last hit minions? I really don't think so. I think it's mostly just an adjustment there.
She's still gonna delete waves.
Yeah. Yep. She's a lot of fun. A lot of fun in the new variant of her. So pick that up. But okay, next nerf we have a couple to run through here is Yuumi. Her AP ratio is going down by 5 percentage points. Don't think this does all that much. Yuumi doesn't build a ton of AP if they're building her right, so it's really not that big of a deal. Seraphine is getting her AP ratio on the shield down by 10 percentage points, which is decent. And then also the heal was 0.6% per 0.6% of someone's missing HP per 100 AP. Actually, I think it's hers. To down to 0.4%. So it's a slightly smaller heal, and it's a a decently smaller shield, pushing her more towards playing support and less on the AP variant, but not a huge change. Gnar losing 40 base health, and his HP regen is going down as well a little bit. So it's now 1.25 per HP regen per level. So that's what it's only going to grow by 1.25, not 1.75. So, yeah, he's going to have less regen and less health overall because he's been pretty healthy. I think this is a pro play geared nerf here, not solo queue, but yep. And then Zeri is getting a nerf as well. The The right click, which is not the Q, it's that weird, it's like the shooting gun laser thing. Oh, the camera couldn't see it like that. No longer deals 60 to 150 plus 18% AP damage to enemies lower than below 35% health. It doesn't do that at all. That's gone. Right click now executes enemies below 60 to 150 plus 18% health. So it no longer deals additional damage below 35%. It executes enemies below a certain amount of health. And then the R on hit damage is going down by 5 at all ranks as well. So there's that. And then we have this one I think is pretty meaningful. So I thought that it was meaningful. I'll just open up with it. It's Renata getting her base health going down by 50 and her base AD is going down by 2. My thought on this was the base AD going down by 2, not a big deal, because a lot of the damage that she's pumping out is not through her autos, is through her E, and her Q does a little bit, empowering her ally, but also then the ally proc on the auto is bigger than the damage that her actual auto does. But losing 50 health for an enchanter-ish peeling support is pretty big. And she's fantastic. I think she feels great, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, is this gonna push her out of bot lane? Is this gonna make her like much worse? Sean, why don't you take it first?
I just think it's interesting that I don't think she's been nerfed since she came out, and she's like consistently been one of the best supports since she came out. I don't know if it's just because there aren't like a ton of people, or she's not like super popular. You don't see her like every game, but you see her a decent amount.
She's
So,
got a
like,
10% pick rate on this patch and a 52.7% win rate. So
yeah, I mean, she's like, yeah, I would check u.gg pretty regularly, and like she's always consistently like in the top 5 supports basically since she's came out, and like I'm pretty sure this is the first time she's gotten nerfed. I don't remember like for sure, but yeah, it seems like it, and it seems like it's a little like overdue because she's been out for a while now. But yeah, I mean 58 80 or 50 HP. I mean, it's like basically just an auto attack, so it could make a pretty big difference, I would say. So I don't think it's
she
gonna just completely like ruin her. I don't think she's not gonna be playable anymore, but it is like a slight nerf. At least they're like starting to look at her, I guess, is what I would say.
they've nerfed her a few times since she came out. They nerfed her bailout cooldown. They nerfed they changed it a bit. They nerfed her nerfed her armor growth. There's some bug fixes. They reduced her base armor, and they reduced her base health, or they increased her base health. Actually, on the durability patch, she went up from 525 base health to 595. So they gave her 70 health, and now they're taking away some of it. They increased her health growth and her armor growth and her MR growth as well, but then reduced the shield on her the loyalty program. That's the E. So she has had some changes, but I didn't think so either. So not very memorable ones. Yep. Any other thoughts there, John or Kaib?
I don't really play her, so I don't think I've played her once, so I don't really know, honestly. I know she's been good, but I don't know. I don't want to play it.
Since patch 12.9, she's had either a 52.7 or 53 basically win rate since then consistently. It's her, Tarek, and Janna are all jostling for the top spots, and Sona. They're all jostling back and forth between 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on the patch. So, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she was definitely strong. It's a little nudge down.
Yeah, I find her a lot of fun to play though. But okay, so now champion adjustments. So Wukong is getting his base HP regen buffed slightly, but his passive health regen per stack is going down. So rewarding you less for being in combat, but rewarding you more for being out of combat. That's about it. Aatrox, his health per level is going up, but the E healing percentage is going down late, as is the R healing bonus that you get late is also going down. The R1 is down by 10 percentage points. The rest of it seems pretty inconsequential. Rost, so Red Cane is getting his health per level is going up by 10, but his passive damage, he would heal 25 to 35% of all damage dealt to champions. Now it's 20 to 30%. So, okay, probably power neutral because he does a lot of max health healing. So there's that. And then, so that's that. But then Janna, one of the best supports for a long time, is getting some nerfs. So, John, can you run us through Janna here?
Yeah, so her E, her shield, bonus heal shield power is going down by 5%, 20 to 15, and then the E shield, it's going up by 10 early, and then 10 late as well. Looks like 10 at all ranks, and then the R heal is going up slightly, as the AP scaling on it.
Yeah, I'd say like, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? So those are the numbers. Do you think like these are big changes? Do you think she's going to drop out of being arguably the best support?
No, I think she's still gonna be pretty good. I mean, it looks like, I mean the shield. I don't know. I mean, I think she's still gonna be good for sure. I mean, her are a little bit of a buff. Um, I don't know. I think she's still frustrating to play against sometimes, for sure. And I mean, she's been one of the top supports for a while now. So
I mean,
I'm okay with
I've
that.
played her a handful of times lately, and like the shield felt like disgusting to me. It's like a 400 health shield or whatever is like what it usually feels like when I actually am using it on people, and it also gives AD. Like it's just such a disgusting ability, like in its current state. So I can see why they'd want to like flip the strength of the shield and then give some more power to like healing instead, because their ult does feel a little bit underwhelming a lot of the time. So I mean the changes make quite a bit of sense to me.
Yeah, I hate facing Janna. It's so annoying, especially because I play a lot of champs that will be like when I played Rammus a ton, I see Janna and I just cry on the inside because I can't get on to the people I need to get onto. She can use her Q, and then she could use her R, and it's a nightmare.
Use your W to make you slow.
It doesn't do that much because I'm already moving so fast. So yeah, slow a little bit, but still,
Yeah.
like it's disgusting.
Feels bad as an AD carry for sure, getting slowed by her constantly.
Yeah. I think in one of the Clash games last night there was a Janna that absolutely shat on us too. I think it was that last game where I played Vi, and then I remember like we went for a bot lane play with you guys, and then Janna ulted, and I was stuck on the glacial raise and couldn't get over to help, and then you both died, and then they killed me. It was sad. We didn't win that game, if anyone was wondering. So, okay, then last champion adjustment we have is Gangplank. So there's a separate thread for Gangplank here. They're making, so I'll run through all the changes and then we can talk about what we think about this means for Gangplank. So his base health is going down by 40. It's now 600. His health per level is going up by 10, so he'll have 180 extra health late. So, I mean, actually, what's the calculus on that though? We're looking at 140 bonus health throughout the game. Then his base armor is going down by 4, so it's 31. And then his passive, that trial by fire true damage, is the base is not changing. They're just adding. Oh my god, they're just adding a 250% crit strike chance ratio. Wow. What? No, I didn't read this before we read. Oh my god. Okay, I'll keep going. His Q, the base damage is going down by 10 at all ranks. No, it's not. It's going down but it's going. No, it is going down by 10. Sorry, it's going down overall. Weird. Okay, then his E is going down. Oh, sorry, it's down. His Q is down early, but up higher later. So it's like ranks 1 and rank 2, it's down. Rank 3, it's neutral. Rank 4 and rank 5, it's higher. His Q damage is the base damage only. They didn't change any ratios. And then his E, they didn't change his ult or his W, but the E, the barrels, the slow amount was 40 to 80%. Now it's 30 to 60% plus 0.25% per 1% crit chance at all ranks. So you can get what 40% extra or 25% extra, so you can be looking at a 105% slow. Am I reading that right? On the if you have 100% crit chance and E is maxed? No, it'd be 85. Sorry, it could be more, but at base it's lower because they want to disincentivize people playing Bruiser and they wanted to play crit. E bonus damage, bonus physical damage as well is going down early but up higher later. And then the bonus damage on crit is down from 25% to 10%. Okay, so his barrels seem less scary to me now, but that passive going up with a 250% crit strike chance. Tell me this doesn't make Gangplank so much better than he currently is. I'll take your silence to mean you all agree.
Yeah, I can't see the changes. I don't have the. Can you post?
Oh, did I not? Oh, sorry. Did I not give the? I'll put it right here in the Discord. Sorry, I
just
forgot
heard
to.
like the Q got weaker.
Yeah.
Like the slow got heavier later.
I thought I put it in there. Here's the
100% crit, and then I was like, oh lord.
there's the link for it. Sorry, I didn't put it in before. You guys didn't see it, so there. I just posted it in the Discord. Yeah, 250% additional crit strike chance on onto his. Oh my god, that passive is gonna do so much damage.
Let's just multiply that real quick by there.
Yeah, someone do the math on that. Let's say he has 100% crit strike chance. Let's say it's level 18. He's got 300 AD, so 200 bonus AD and 100% crit strike chance. I don't know. Like, let me open my calculator.
Go
yeah, I just ADC deletion is what I think.
Plus, let's say it's another 300. We're looking at 610 damage before the 250% crit strike chance, but 100 times 250. I don't know. I'm not doing the math right. I'd have to. I don't know. If you want to see the full in-depth dive on how all this math actually makes a difference, you can go watch Freak's patch notes. But needless to say, at face value, this looks terrifying.
I'll also be releasing a video edition going over the Gangplank patch notes on my OnlyFans. So if you'd like to watch, join up.
Yeah, but this is terrifying. I don't know. What do you guys think of the Q and the E though? Because they seem almost the Q is a little bit better, but for him, I think, although maybe not, because you don't bully early lane as much.
Yeah, I think that's a good change though, personally. I mean, I think
trying to take it out of him being able to just bully people with Qs early.
So
yeah, I think that was always the biggest problem with Gangplank is that he's this hyper scaling champion that also just bullies the shit out of most meta top laners. And it looks like these changes are basically just giving him a little bit more power late and then make him weaker early, which probably should be how Gangplank should be. He shouldn't be able to just sit there and bully everybody and get the scale on top of it. So I mean, I'd have to play against it to see, but yeah, right now Gangplank feels pretty disgusting to play against.
I don't even think they needed to buff his Q late. Just make it, instead of 20 to 120, make it 10 to 110. It's not that big of a deal because he has so much extra crit going on and or bruiser items going on like Triforce procs and other stuff. You just don't. And after early lane, you could still bully people enough with that damage. It's 10 plus some extra AD and grass procs, and then your passive, like you're able to put out a decent amount of damage still, and then you're just using your Q to explode barrels later. So it's really not that big of a deal. The E though, I'm fine with all this. Makes him less scary, I think.
Just make it 140 to 140. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah. But this is going to make all these Gangplank players that are playing it without crit, playing like the ability haste version with Triforce and what Cyril does and Ravenous Hydra, it's going to be a lot worse if you're doing that now, I think. Or maybe not a lot worse, but a bit worse. So, any other thoughts on Gangplank, or should we move on to the systems changes?
I don't have anything else.
Systems it is. So, John, you weren't able to find the Enchanter Mythics, were you?
No, I
Okay.
can't find that.
Because there's right here, Enchanter Mythics, see previous tweet. We can't find it. We think it might have been deleted. It might be shipped in this patch. I would assume it is because they didn't say that it isn't. But yeah, so we can't go over those. Early sustain runes and items. So let me hop over to that right now. So we have potions. Okay, so we'll do potions and just cover this. Also on the screen, summoner spells are on here, but they've removed those changes, so those are not happening. And they said they're not gonna touch these until after Worlds. But potions, healing potion, was 150, it's going down to 120, and corrupting and refillable potion was 125, going down to 100. So they're both going to heal you less while still being the same cost. Thoughts? Don't all jump first. Sean, what do you think? I'm calling you out.
I don't know. I mean, potions are pretty good. Like refillable is like one of like the best items to like early buy and one of the most like gold efficient, I believe. I don't know. Like, and a lot of mid laners, some top laners start corrupting pots, so that might change for them. 25 health early is pretty big. So
And that's per charge. So that's 75 over the life of the corrupting pot.
no. So I honestly when I was playing mid, like a lot of control mages go corrupting pods start right now, especially if you're gonna be like heavily trading. But I personally hate it because I always use it at the wrong time or like use it inefficiently and don't get like use the passive that well. So I just started buying Dorans every game when I was playing mid because I was just sick of using it inefficiently. But yeah, I mean, pretty much, I'd say every game, like now, like if I like early back and like I just have an extra 150 gold, like I'm gonna just buy refillable pot basically no matter what, just because it's such an efficient item. But like, I guess
Yeah.
now maybe you might rethink it.
Yeah, I would probably I don't know. I'd still buy it just because I like the investment of that over healing pots. Like I just don't really buy health potions very much. I also play jungle, so I don't really have very many opportunities to do that. But even when I'm in ARAMs, I never buy the red pots. There's never a reason to. Just buy the refillable pots. So now refillable pots are I think this is actually an argument for refillable pots even more. Yes, it's a little bit less healing, but the health potions are not getting you as much because the selling point before was they're healing you for more, and so that's why it's worth it. And if you're a champ that doesn't really want corrupting potion or healing or refillable potion, but now, yes, they're still healing you more than the corrupting potion, but they're not healing you as much relative to what they were before, and the difference. So it was a 25 difference, now it's a 20 difference. Is that enough to close the gap? Probably. I don't know. Kai, what do you think, man? Because you play a bunch of mid laners now. You said you're a mid laner. So, how does this
Yeah.
affect your potion status?
I do not buy corrupting very often. I think the only champion that I buy it on every game is Vex. but or if it's a matchup where, like Sean said, there's a lot of trading going on. Like if I play against an Ari, I'm probably gonna take the corrupting. But like he said, well, I try to get a cheese back to where I've got enough gold for just buy a book and refillables. So what? I need 585 gold. Yeah, so I just try and back around 600 gold, try and get that third wave shoved in, and come back with more sustain plus a item advantage, and then look to kill after
Okay.
the third wave.
So now, if you were starting Dorans, though, let's say you're playing Seraphine like you do, uh, are you still I don't know, are you gonna now think away from doing health potions? Because I assume that's a Doran's ring and 2 potion start.
So that's the quote unquote recommended. I if I play Seraphine, I just take the tier because her mana is ass. Uh,
Sure.
and part of being new to mid is learning how to manage your mana. And she's one of the I have the most difficult time managing my mana with her over other mid laners.
Sure.
So I like going tier in 2 pots. Um, Realistically, I think I could get away with just going tier and nothing else, but that just feels weird coming to lane with 100 gold.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I might try out just running a tier and then having a better buy um, after the cheese back because I like to take futures market. I don't ever really take biscuits. Um, so if I went to lane with the 100 gold, took futures market, look to get off 2 books maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, and we'll get into it, but biscuits are getting nerfed too, so it's even incentivizing people to not take biscuits.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. Overall though, unless it is a like trade heavy lane, I don't like I'm not I don't think I'll be that affected unless someone gets like super aggro and they're also very efficient with their trading.
Sure.
I tend to just be more passive early. So I think I could get away with not having those 2 health pots.
Sure. Yeah, now that I think about it a little more, the only time when I'm actually taking health potions when I'm jungling, as opposed to refillable, is fiddlesticks because I'm taking jungle item, a pink ward, and a health potion. And I could probably even go without the health potion if I feel confident that I'm not going to get invaded or anything. But better safe than sorry. It's only 50 gold, so yeah. But maybe now it's not even worth it. Just save the 50 gold and just hold on to it for when I'm going back for items. But yeah. Cool. So then I guess Kai brought up biscuits, and biscuits are getting nerfed as well. They now the mana and health restore was 10%, now it's 8%, and they used to increase your max mana by 50. I wasn't even aware they used to do that. Now it's 40, and the manaless health restore is unchanged. So if you're a manaless champion, Vladimir, Tryndamere, whatever, I'm not saying Tryndamere would take biscuits, but they now get that the restore they used to get for being manaless is unchanged. So there's that. They're also, and then in combination with that, they're nerfing Time Warp Tonic as well, which was if you when you chug a potion or a biscuit or eat a biscuit, then you get, I think it's what, half of the benefit up front, and then it places the ability to consume a consumable on cooldown, and you would get move speed while they're active. It was 4%, now it's 2%, which I don't know. Time Warp Tonic never felt good to me for the move speed, but now that feels so much worse. 2% move speed while you're having a potion going, like, what's the point of taking that rune now?
Yeah, I used to, as far as like the potions and then the biscuits and time warp, the champion that like the only champion I really play that affects would be Jhin, because I would take like when the healing for the potions was more, I would take into like a double range matchup, take boots, and then for healing pots, and then take biscuits with the time warp because that was nice because you could heavy trade with Jhin early, and then it'd be use the movement speed pretty well with his with the boots, and then already with like fleet and all the other bonus moves via the Jhin gets. And you can catch people off guard with that sometimes, but I mean, yeah, it just makes it a little worse. Like it'll definitely make me consider taking other stuff in the secondary tree for Jhin, like I've been taking Celerity and Gathering Storm on Jhin sometimes. Um,
Would you ever, instead of taking the healing pots though, now take refillable and boots?
yeah, yeah. So like I think in the Clash game we played, I did a long sword and a refillable
Okay,
because I think it was a range than melee matchup. So
gotcha.
I think it's worth mentioning that like LS is like memed on biscuits forever. I think like what happened is like biscuits get taken a lot in like solo queue and like norms and whatever because like they do help a lot if you're like not playing that well and like you need the extra help. But like in pro play, like people will still like take biscuits because I'm guessing pros probably just do the same thing where they like look up like the top builds on GG and just like use like the same build. So like a lot of times pros will like take biscuits when they don't like need them at all, and then they just sit in their inventory like the whole game, and like LS always ends up memeing on them for that. So like now they're even worse, and LS was already hating on him forever. So like I can imagine he's just gonna like throw a fit if he ever sees biscuits in pro play now. But for like someone like me that like I actually do get decent amount of like help from it, or like can use the help from the extra help from biscuits, I might still take them. I don't know. I guess it depends on like how like the meta shapes out afterwards after this patch, but yeah, I guess that's basically all I had to say about it.
I'd say, yeah, to that point, it might be worth taking it into. We were talking about LeBlanc earlier and talking about like mid matchups that sometimes you know you're going to be losing, and so you just kind of take it on the chin and get as much farm as you can and try and survive. Like Kai was saying that he plays Victor, but so now maybe like these biscuits were going to help you get through that more, and now they're not going to as much. But like in pros, they'll take it into matchups they win, and they just still take it, and it sits there. And like it's kind of funny watching second Rift Herald fight, and some people still like a Gangplank still has biscuits in his inventory. Like why did you take those biscuits? You obviously didn't need them. Given the lane matchup, you should know you didn't need them. You're a pro. Like it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Like yeah, like going on with what you said about LS saying it, I totally agree with his stance on biscuits. Like they're just I don't know. There's so many other good runes that you can take that biscuits are just not it.
I think if I'm in inspiration tree, like for a lot of mid laners, I think depending on who it is, you know, either magical footwear or perfect timing, and then you just go futures market and cosmic insight, honestly. Like maybe approach velocity, but I feel like excuse me. I feel like futures market's gonna be really, really prioritized for a lot of mid laners now. Or minion dematerializer to get cheese packs.
Yeah, demats feel really bad nowadays, I think too. But yeah, futures market and then approach velocity only works on it's only worth it on a few champions like Olaf or Ashe or I don't know, other
I
people
really
that apply
like
constant
taking
slows.
Trundle.
Trundle,
minion
yeah.
demat on. I'll actually take it on Ari for sure. Sometimes Victor, even Vex sometimes. Uh, just to Q one shot the waves like later in the game. Not even have to worry about if I'm gonna get
And so which minions are
infested.
you dematerializing because it increased the damage of the ones you're hitting?
Yeah, I will typically do um, two on the melees,
Mhm.
and then one on the cannon.
Okay, so you're not doing the casters at all.
No.
Okay, because I know that Twisted Fate a lot will do it on the casters, so will Lux sometimes.
But that's specifically on like Ari and Victor.
Sure.
Because in Vex, like innately they just damage the casters so much that like I don't really feel like it's necessary. But if I can get to a point where I'm Q one-shotting or EQ
Yep.
one-shotting the melees, then that's pretty huge because it's very easy to get a wave shove before a dragon or a rift baron something. Like it adds an additional like 6 seconds for me to walk from dragon to mid lane, shove the wave out, and we now have prio mid.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Other laning runes that are getting nerfed, we'll do the other ones in the resolve tree now, I guess, is bone plating. The cooldown's up by 10 seconds. Conditioning, the amount of percent armor and MR that you get is down from 4 to 3, and then you used to get flat 9, now you get flat 8, which okay, you lose 1 armor and MR is not a big deal, but the percent is a bigger deal. And then Guardian is the cooldown is up. It used to be 70 to 40, now it's 90 to 40 seconds. And then also Second Wind, you used to heal 6 plus 4% missing health. Now you heal 3 plus 4% missing health. And Unflinching, 10 to 30% tenacity and slow resistance is now 5 to 25. So there's a lot of changes there. John, which of those do you think are significant? Like, what's the biggest one of those?
I mean, I feel like they're just hitting all the sustain just a little bit. Like second win, I don't think it'll be that much because most of the value of that was coming from the percent.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is the sudden impact. It's getting a little nudge.
Yeah, sudden impact is getting 2 extra lethality and 1 magic pen.
I mean, I'm okay with the Guardian increased cooldown.
Really?
Like, I don't know. I mean, personally, I think it's playing against it's frustrating.
But it's like how yeah, but that shield, it's okay. How often are you being denied significant lane advantages or kills because of Guardian? It's already got a 70-second cooldown. Is it still too low?
I mean, I've had it deny kills to me definitely before, but I mean, I don't know. It's really frustrating when you're playing like a champion that has a lot of burst, and then you just like it just comes off cooldown like right as you're about to go in.
Sure.
So then it doesn't kill them when you thought it would. I've had that happen to me several times, but I mean, yeah, I guess 20 seconds like that's a good bit.
That's a big deal. Like if they
Yeah, it's
went
good.
75, not a big deal. If they went 80, okay, I could swallow that. But 90, that I don't know. I feel like that's a big deal for the champions that take Guardian. We're talking about Braum. We're thinking of Rakan, sometimes Thresh,
Lulu. Yeah.
Lulu. Yeah, like it's I don't know. That feels bad.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But I think that's definitely the biggest change
Sure.
of all of these.
Yeah, I'd say
Right.
like you said, some of those ones that don't like Second Wind doesn't feel like that big of a deal, or Bone Plating doesn't feel that big of a deal. I honestly don't even think Bone Plating is a good rune in general.
Yeah, I just want
Yeah,
to
I don't
say,
think so.
like, as like the resident like top laner here, that like Bone Blade is like the only one that like even stands out to me. Really, that's because like it's so like meta or like it's like basically the meta on pretty much everybody top lane that's melee, at least. And that's because it's so hard for most melee champions to pop it basically without having to take like a full trade. And if you take a full trade with somebody with bone plating, then you're just gonna get screwed over. So like a lot of like playing top lane is like figuring out how you're gonna pop somebody's bone plating. And having a larger window, like a 10-second extra window to trade with somebody after you got their bone plating down is actually really big. But it's really only top lane too, because the other lanes don't really have that problem of popping bone plating, especially if you have ranged auto attacks and it's super easy.
Sure. Mid lane, some of them take it if they're melee, like Akali will take it mid lane. I've seen sometimes, or maybe like a Yasuo might, or something like that, Yone. But yeah, you definitely don't take it as a jungler. Doesn't make any sense. And I would assume in bot lane, you're not really taking it all that much. Yeah. Then the other changes we have as well are Scorch is getting 5 extra damage at all ranks. And as John said, the sudden impact buff as well that we just went over. So I don't know. Scorch, a little bit stronger. Okay. Scorch is also a terrible rune, and people should generally not be taking it. Like, it does so little damage. Okay, it does more damage probably until the first Gathering Storm proc at 10 minutes, but then it's already immediately outscaled. It's just a bad rune. The only time that you should ever really take it is what you're playing a heavy early game AP poke support is really it. But God, that rune is bad.
Yeah, it is.
If they made it better late, it would be a lot better. Like make it, 20 to 80 or something, 20 to 70. It would actually be a bigger deal because it's got a decently short cooldown. So then it would make a bigger deal. Like, okay, an extra 80 damage on a spell late game at level 18. It's not nothing. Depending on your champion, if you're a low AP champion, then maybe you do get Scorch then. Who knows? I don't know. Any other thoughts on these guys? I'll take that as a no. Cool. So then we have 3 items or 2 items getting changed. We have Gangplank Chainsword is 200 gold more expensive in the combined cost. It looks like. Okay, that item was already terrible before durability update, and now it got even worse since durability update, and now it's more expensive. It's just bad. It's such a bad item. I don't think there's anything more we even need to go in with it. And then Sunfire Cape is also the base damage is this is a pretty big nerf, I think. It was 12 to 30 plus 1% bonus health, and now it's 15 plus 1.5% bonus health. But so you have to have a lot of health to actually justify really taking it now.
I don't think that this is so much a huge nerf as it is them trying to get Master Yi, Yone, Diana, champions like that were taking it. Like Yi and Yone would take Bork into Sunfire. You just wouldn't die, sustain through everything, and also murder people. And then Diana would rush either a Gnasher's Tooth into Sunfire or just go Sunfire into Demonic, and she would still just pump out a ton of damage while not really being able to die. So I think it's more to get to kick that out
Sure.
than just nerf. Because I mean, plus the bonus health on these tanks, I mean, it's a tank item. If if you're gonna be building tank, you're gonna have the health. You're gonna more than make up for the quote unquote nerf they've done. So yeah, maybe earlier it's a nerf, but when tanks come more into play mid to late game, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be in the exact same spot, if not sometimes even better if you're building like Warmog and stuff like that.
Sure, but now you're restricting if you're gonna go a champion that builds Sunfire, or if you're gonna go Sunfire, you need to then like you're almost forced to be building. So like Frozen Heart is a great item, but would you want to pair that with Sunfire Cape? Probably not, because you're not getting any health off of it, so you're losing that base. Whereas if it was, scaling up to 30, then you can stomach not getting health on one of those items. But if you're building low health items, high resist items, because they're high resistance and you're still getting the damage out of Sunfire, then it's just not. It's not. I don't
But
know.
like, so for for me, like the tanks that I play, I don't really ever build Frozen Heart. If I build Frozen Heart, it's because I've built a Fimbulwinter and I want the extra mana for the shield, right? And obviously the armor and slowing them. But champions that build Frozen Heart, like Jax, he's not building it health. He's building it to slow people so he can stick to them and murk them.
Well,
Like,
Frozen Heart doesn't slow people; it just slows their attack speed.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Sorry. Like, he doesn't really have to worry about.
But a lot of I get what you're saying, but I guess it depends on what tanks you're talking about because a lot of top lane tanks take Frozen Heart, and then some of the jungle tanks take it as well. Like I play Udyr and he's taking it. Sometimes I'm taking it on Poppy. Nunu might get it as well. Rammus loves this item, so it's like it depends on which tanks you're talking about. Sejuani I think would love this item too.
I think Sejuani only likes it because she can build so easily.
Sure.
But again, the purpose of her building it is, and she doesn't really even go, like, at least when I play her, I do not build her Sunfire. I do Kim Tank or Frostfire.
Gotcha.
So
Interesting.
that really isn't an issue there. But I mean, I really like the Frostfire or Kim Tank with Winter into Frozen Heart on Sejuani, because you can just proc the shield so easily, and then your shield is gigantic because you have an ungodly amount of mana.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I get what you're saying. I didn't really think about it that way, but good point for sure. Yeah, it was definitely when you've been seeing like these videos of Tank Diana, and I hadn't seen any Master Yi until last night in Clash. We saw one of the teams we were playing, their previous game they played it, but I hadn't seen any Yone playing it at all.
It is so anytime I've played Yone in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, that's the only build I go. I don't think I've built Shield Bow once.
Wow.
Like, it is actually disgusting. Like, I don't even build crit items, honestly.
Jesus Christ.
Until like at least third. Just go Bork into Sunfire, because with your E, you're getting the best part of Bork. You're getting that extra damage that is pumped out, the extra on hit. So when you snap back, you can snap back from so much when the enemy is so much healthier, and they'll still die.
Okay, gotcha. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it like, again, this is not to say fuck you to tanks. It's to say fuck you to champions like Diana,
Yeah.
Master Yi.
That makes sense.
Because I mean, tank Diana is just giga busted. Like,
Yeah, it's disgusting.
You get a kill early on Diana, and you get a Dark Seal, 10 stacks, potentially a book, but you've built Demonic and Sunfire. You're gonna blow people up, and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's Sunfire, and then so those are the items. We also have Red Smite going down from 20 to 10% damage reduction. They're not touching the additional damage you're doing to people, but I feel like that's a pretty big nerf.
I hate that so much.
Yeah.
I kind of love it.
I think
What?
Red Fight feels so OP a lot of time. Like, it's extra damage and it's like a mini exhaust. Like, the item or the smite or whatever the hell you want to call it is so disgusting.
I think it makes
as
it
a non-jungler
with chilling smite now, because
Sure.
like there are champions that want to build blue smite for speed aspect of it, but other than that, like I very very rarely build blue smite. So maybe it makes it more in line with, do I need this damage reduction, or would I rather have the speed?
And the damage on it that it does too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I definitely agree. Like I play some of the champs that still go blue smite, so like Fiddlestick still goes blue smite, Udyr still goes blue smite. Poppy can go either way depending on what you're facing and what you need to do. Yeah, Jarvan's taking red smite, but that's not going to change with this. I don't know.
I actually like taking it on Lilia sometimes.
Really?
You don't need it at all. Like I recognize that you don't need it, but like a build where you're going like Riftmaker and what's the AP movement speed item?
Cosmic
Can't remember.
Drive?
Yeah, Cosmic Drive. If you do that and blue smite him, you're just good luck trying to hit me. I'm just gonna dance around you.
But red smite's so much better because you can burn down these behemoths that like you just run around them and press Q and they're burning.
Well, I'm also not gonna be going Riftmaker and Cosmic into a team with a bunch of tanks. I'm gonna go Leandries and Red Smite. No, I just think it's fun to literally dance circles even faster than normal.
Sure. Yeah. John, is this going to affect any of your smite choices?
I mean, pretty much most champs I play use red smite, so I mean it might make me consider blue smite sometimes, but I mean I think it was probably pretty strong.
Well, so I could see you on
It
like
feels bad to play against.
I could see on like because you play a decent amount of Rengar. Does Rengar need the damage reduction on challenging smite, or like isn't he instantly popping people? Wouldn't you want blue smite?
I mean, I like it for both aspects because I mean that like it just makes it easier for me to try to kill them really fast. Like with Rengar, I don't have an issue getting onto people. It's not the issue. It's killing them. Like I get less value. I feel like from blue smite if I'm Rengar because I don't really have an issue. Like getting onto people or sticking on them because I mean, if you hit the bola, you're already slowing them a lot. So, I mean, the red smite makes it is nice. I mean, I'll probably still take red smite more than likely because, I mean, it just makes it so it's harder to fight 1v1. But most people also will just take red smite against me. So it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I get more value from it with champs I play at least.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anyone that like uses blue smite that I play.
Do you play Kha'Zix?
Occasionally, yeah.
So him.
Yeah, I guess Kha'Zix.
Tanks pretty often take it.
Yeah, tanks. I mean, I used to play some Nunu takes it sometime. Like Sejuani takes it some.
Tarek.
Yeah, Tarek. I like it. I actually played a game of Sejuani last night and took it. I mean, it feels good on her. I feel like I don't know. I'll experiment with it some.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it is definitely a noteworthy change for sure.
Absolutely. Yep. So, okay, there's that. And then before we move on to the last thing, which is some dragon changes, apparently the viewer in chat wants to know what champion we think we could beat in a fight. To clarify, I would say that we can take the same level of weaponry as they can. So if it's like set, we have no weapons, but if it's graves, we can take guns. So that sort of stuff. Sean's already laughing. So Sean, what's your answer to this, buddy?
I'm going Annie.
Ooh, I got my. I like that. I got my answer. I'm going with Anivia because this past weekend I was up at my. I was up at the lake at my girlfriend's parents' place. There was like a family reunion thing. In any case, there's this island on the lake where tons and tons and tons of birds congregate, and I swam over to scare them and stuff. And then I was throwing rocks near them. I was just kind of being a nuisance. And then I threw one and accidentally.
Throwing rocks at birds sounds like the most Eric thing I've ever heard.
Do you not still chase pigeons too? Like, come on, man! Like, you gotta chase birds.
No, like,
what?
Why am I not surprised that you throw rocks at birds? Eric, did you have a good weekend? Yeah, dude. There's some rocks at some fucking birds.
Well, I don't throw it. I didn't throw any to kill them. I was trying to like skip them off the water and like scare them and stuff. But I threw one.
If it just accidentally hit one, you wouldn't be upset.
I threw one and it hit a bird, and the bird did not come up. after it fell under the water and did not come up, and I just kind of laughed, and then it's a squall started to form in the air, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna swim back to my group. I'm not about this anymore, and I quickly booked it out of there. But yeah, I don't think it's that surprising. Like, people throw rocks at animals and stuff, like, and not animals writ large. I feel like I'm digging myself a hole here. I'm gonna stop. John, what champ do you think you could take in a fight?
Akshan, because he's a scoundrel.
And okay, like, why is the fact of him being a scoundrel noteworthy for this?
I don't know. I mean, I could take him.
Okay, got it. You could take him. Okay.
What about Fiddlesticks? He's gotta be pretty weak.
Dude,
He's just a little
no.
scarecrow.
Okay.
What about Rammus? I could take Rammus.
But like, armadillos are one of the species that carry leprosy. Do you really want to deal with that if you fight Rammus and then you get leprosy afterwards? No.
Not if I got a shotgun like Graves.
Yeah, but you have,
Hey.
like I said, you have the same level of weaponry as them, so you have just like your body. You could put on some body armor, but that's about it.
I need to get his. I'll steal his tortoise shell.
Okay. Just go full Mario and just jump on him and take the shell.
Yeah,
Okay, like it.
take
Take the Koopa shell. Okay, Kai, what about you, man?
Yo, I'm kicking Yumi's ass.
This is payback.
Okay, here we go. Zoe, I've got the whole list piled up. Zoe, Ziggs, Yumi, Vex, Tristana, Teemo.
So all the
Sona,
Yordles, all the
Soraka.
Yordles, basically.
Yeah, Seraphine.
Is it the question? Who could I take, or who do I want to beat up?
Who
who
we
could you
think we
beat?
could beat in a fight?
Like the max.
I guess,
Who's
yeah,
like
the
limited?
max
Ornn.
difficulty.
Ornn.
What? No.
Ornn on expert.
No.
Yeah, you guys ever play Guitar Hero? Fighting Ornn is like playing through the fire and flames on expert. Let's go.
Oh my god, dude. No. You
We
could.
fight Lee Sin.
That'd be fine. You
I wanna
just.
beat up Lee Sin.
Or how about Rek'Sai? You stand still. She doesn't know where you are.
True. She could.
You wouldn't beat her though. Like you literally wouldn't be able to beat her.
I would outlast her. She would starve before I would.
Okay.
He's getting HelloFresh drop lifted from a throne.
How are you gonna cook it?
I don't need to cook it. I could just eat, like, they'll just drop me some vegetables and I'll just be opening carrots while standing in place.
I hate you.
Or just, dive right into a bell pepper. You ever eaten a bell pepper like it's an apple and just, like, bit right into it? It's pretty good.
Yeah, they're decent. They're pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
Thank you. Sean backed me up.
I like green peppers.
Green peppers are good for. I don't know why they're always more expensive. Or less expensive,
yeah.
sorry. Less expensive.
Yeah, they are. They're a little bit less. Yellow peppers are good too.
Okay, I don't know what this devolved into, but hopefully that's the answer to your question, Yako. So then we have dragon stuff to talk about. So, basically, and Rift Herald. Yikes. And Elder Drake. So I'll just run through these, and then I'm just going to ask you guys what you think are the biggest changes and stuff, because there's a lot of numbers here. So, Mountain Drake, the buffs that you get from killing it was 6% armor and 6% resistances. Now it's 9% resistances per. Ocean Drake, it was 2% missing health per 5 seconds. Now it's 3%. And Infernal Drake, it was 4% of your AD/AP. Now it's 6% of your AD/AP. Hextech Drake, it was 6% attack speed and 6 ability haste. It is now 9% attack speed and 9 ability haste. Cloud Drake, it was 3.5% slow resist and out of combat movement speed. It is now 7. They doubled it. Cloud Soul buff is the only soul that's getting changed. Cloud Soul buff, it was 10% bonus move speed and 50% on ult cast for 6 seconds. It is now 15% bonus move speed and still 50% on ult cast. Then health on The pre-rift transformation for dragons, it was 2650 plus 250 per level. Now it is 3450 plus 380 per level. After the rift transforms, it was 4350 plus 240 per level. Now it's 6950 plus 380 per level. So it's 2500, 2600 tankier. As opposed to 800 tankier pre-ref transformation. The dragon base AD and damage, Cloud Drake down, it was 50, now it's 35. Mountain Drake 150, now it's 105. Ocean Drake, it was 100, now it's 70. Infernal Drake also was 100, now it's 70. Hextech Drake 66.7 down to 47. And all dragon percent current health damage on auto was 7%, now it's 5%. So that's all the dragons. Okay, I guess there's a couple more. Elder Drake, the health was 6,400 plus 180 per minute. Now it's 6,400 plus 290 per minute. The AD is down. It was 150. It is now 105. Okay, so that's all that. We'll do dragons, Rift Trails afterwards. That's all the dragon stuff. There's a lot of shit in there. John, tell me what I should take away from this. Like, what's the big stuff that's being changed and what's important to see here?
I would say the drags are going to be harder to take, especially like early. Like if you're trying to take an early drag and you don't have your upgraded smite, like that'll make this more difficult. But yeah, they do less overall. The drags do less damage. So they do less damage. A little bit longer to take, more spell rotations to take. But in exchange for that extra time, you're getting more stats per drag. The one that kind of jumps out at me as far as just like individual drags is the Hextech Drake, because so 6% attack speed and ability, or 6% attack speed, 6 ability haste to 9% attack speed and ability haste. I feel like ability haste is a really good stat, and if you were to stack like even 2 Hextech Drakes, that's 18 ability haste. That's almost as much as lucidity boots with 2 drags. That's 18. It's too short of lucidity, so I mean, I think that's really strong for like just a team in general. And then especially if you have champions that not only can benefit from the ability haste but also the attack speed, like 80 carry, like Vayne would love this attack speed. Jin with like the ability haste, like
Jax, Gwen,
Jax,
Graves.
Yeah. Ton of people I think would benefit from stacking those drags. So also like I felt like the Cloud Soul buff was probably a good thing. Like Cloud Soul kind of felt a little
terrible.
Yeah, like it just, I don't know, that something else needed to be it needed a buff.
It did.
This is the one that sticks out the most to me. The other one would be like if you have a situation where you stack like 2 or 3 Mountain Drakes, like your team is gonna be so tanky, especially if you have some bruisers that are ahead on your team and stuff. I mean, even for like
I had a game last week, yeah, where I had 3 Mountain Drakes with Soul. So we had 20. We had 18%. Now we would have had 27% armor and MR.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. The Ocean Drake one, like, not that big to me. Like, that's extra 1%. Like, I mean, that'd be nice early for like early laning, I guess, especially with like the nerfs to sustain runes and whatnot. Like, that's nice. Not like massive, but
what they should have done with Ocean Drake, in my opinion, is not kept it at 2%, but do it 2% max health.
Okay, so it's like scaling at least.
Yeah, because missing health it can either be really good or really bad, but even at like really bad, even when you're low health, like it's 2% missing, now 3% missing health. If you're missing, 100 health, you're getting 3 health per 5 seconds. That does nothing. But if you have 600 health and it doesn't matter how much you're missing, then you're getting, 1% is 60. I guess 2%, like 120 per. No, that's 10%. You're getting 12 every 5 seconds on the 2%. That's a lot more impactful.
Yeah. I I guess the other thing would be the just the regular Cloud Drakes, like doubling the out of combat move speed. Like if you got 2 Cloud Drakes, 14% out of combat move speed sounds kind of wild, honestly.
Now imagine 4 of them. You're getting 28% out of combat movement speed.
Yeah,
You're flying.
Yeah, think about like a Alistar with Mobies and just running around with 3 Cloud Drakes. It's gonna be zooming. Like I think that'll be pretty cool to see what like how those changes affect the game.
That sounds like an enjoyable experience.
I think so.
Especially to be the enemy AD carry. I would love being an Ashe or a Jinx. Just having an Alistar on my ass at all times.
See, you say that, but I don't think you actually would.
You're correct. Your inference was spot on.
Ah, that was sarcasm. Got it.
I know.
I've been watching too much Big Bang Theory, and pointing out sarcasm is kind of fun. Yep. Elder Drag doesn't feel like it's any different though to me.
No.
At that point, it wasn't hurting that much anyways. Baron hurts way more than Elder Drag does.
Yeah, it does.
So, and then Rift Herald is also getting changed, so it's so much better now, it seems. Rift Herald gold reward used to just be 100, whoever killed it. Now it's 100 to killed, and the local gold of 200. So if you're the only one there, you get 300 for killing it. It's essentially a kill. And then the second Rift Herald Mercenary, so when they summon Herald, it now has 75% more health. So when you summon not the first Herald, but the second Herald, it has 75% more health. That's a tanky Shelly. Or no, that's Shirley. Is that Shirley or Shelly?
Shelly.
Okay. That's a tanky Shelly. Wow. Probably see some more, especially with like some of these early champs getting buffed and then reducing and sustaining things like that. Pantheon Jungle, maybe we see some more dancing Shellys.
Yeah. Belveth with her
little
babies with a second Rift Herald in base.
Oh my god, that sounds fun. Can't wait to play Poppy and just hit my R button and knock everything back then. Oh, you're trying to end the game or get even closer? Nope. She actually has an Eternal that's called Nopes. That's the name of the Eternal. It's like movement stuff blocked with her W. It's really cool.
I have to imagine, though, that if the team is in a position for a dancing Shelly, that you knocking them back only delays a few seconds.
I didn't say it would save the game. No, it probably won't save anything. It's just I get to knock them back like 2,500, 2,400 units.
True.
Yeah. So
big if true.
Big true indeed. So, any other thoughts on these Drakes and Rift Heralds? Sean, do you got any thoughts, man?
I like the Rift Herald changes personally. I was always in like I guess like still kind of am in like the camp that like Rift Herald always felt like very underwhelming. Even like First Herald was good if you could drop it before it's 14 minutes the plates drop, right? Or 15?
14.
No, it's 14. Yeah, so like you'd always want to drop First Herald before and get some value out of the plates, but second Rift Herald always felt just completely useless. And like when I'd be playing jungle, I would get super annoyed when people on my team were pinging me to take second Rift Herald and I still like camps up. Like literally the only time I would do it if there's nothing else on the map to do, and then it's kind of like, well, you kind of have to take it if you don't camps or anything up. But I do like that it's tankier now. It'll be interesting to see if like it actually can be like very like effective for like making like huge pushes with it, because for the most part, like right now with second Herald, all you can really do with it is just kind of hope that you get in like a random team fight and you can just like sprint it down a lane with it. So now maybe it is worth grouping up and like trying to like force with like your team with the second Herald instead of just like kind of dropping it randomly or hoping that you get like a good team fight. So yeah, I don't know.
So I'm looking. Okay, so I'm trying to see if when you summon Rift Herald, if it was flat amount of health that gets taken away from charging, or percent. Because if it's percent, then you can't make pushes any better. It's just harder for the enemy team to take it. I'm trying to see. Yep, it's yeah, 66% of her current health as true damage if she damaged the structure. So yeah, she won't be able to take down more turrets, but it'll be harder for the enemy team to stop when you stop it once you drop it. So I just wanted to make sure about that. But yeah, like you're saying, Sean, second rift is very much a win harder objective. Otherwise, it's like a hey, we'll trade dragon. They can take second rift. Or honestly, like if you're behind, the enemy team goes over, they group 4. Like, okay, I'm gonna walk away because I didn't really want it that much anyways. It's second herald. It does nothing. Yeah, I mean now there's an extra 200 gold in it, but okay, still doesn't make it that much better because they're gonna hand off what 75 gold to the killer and just as much experience. It's really not that big of a deal. And speaking about LS, like we talked about earlier a couple of times, he hates Rift Herald as an objective, generally, and with good reason. But you can check out some of his content to find all the very funny things he said about Rift Herald and teams fighting it for no reason, things like that. But yeah, so that's the rest of the provisional change for patch 12.14. Sorry we couldn't find the Enchanter mythics, but combing through Twitter, we were not able to figure it out. So, yep. Anything else we want to address, guys, before we wrap up?
Meet us in Atlanta. We're going to the World Semis.
Yeah, good point. So Worlds, the dates and things have been announced, and as some of you may know, that the leg that was, or the semis that were supposed to be in Toronto have been moved due to visa concerns to Atlanta, and it looks like us here in the crew, or some or all of us, will be attending the games there for the weekend. So if you're, if you're going to be going, let us know. We'll see if we can maybe have like a TFN meetup and try and all sit together. If it works like that, it might be assigned seats, not super sure, but we'll have some sort of a get together for the people that can go. Obviously,
we can take cute pictures together.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we can't financially contribute to anyone going, so don't ask. But yeah, just
kind of rude.
Oh, I was just being upfront and being clear. All right.
Eric said he would personally pay for anyone who wants to go.
That's true. I just got my new credit card in Kaib's name. Time to max it out, and then open another one. So, yep. But yeah, so check out if anyone is going to be going to Atlanta or wants to go to any Worlds games. We're going to be attending those. Some or all of us. I don't know if anyone's going to any other ones. I will not be attending any other venues. Do any of the rest of you guys plan on attending the other venues at all, or no? Sean shook his head no, for those people who are listening and not watching. I take your silence as yeah, I don't think other people are going to be attending the other ones.
I blew all my money on a used car, so I probably won't be going. But
Aw, Sean. Okay. Well, maybe we'll be able to rope him into it and help him a bit, but we'll see. So, yeah, some of us might be there, but I don't think that any of the rest of the crew will be at the other events, though. If you're going to go for it. That sounds great. So, with that, I guess we will wrap up here. I know this is a bit of a longer episode, but lots of impactful changes. So, yeah, if you have any questions or comments for us, please email us at questions@trinityforcepodcast.com, or you can hit us up in the Discord in the feedback sub channel. For our Discord can be found on our website, which is trinityforcepodcast.com. There's also links to it in when this gets posted to YouTube. It will be in there, so go and check that out. Then also we have community game nights at 7:15 Eastern time on Tuesdays, so looking forward to that tomorrow. Unfortunately, the new patch won't be live, so I can't do any Pantheon Jungle shenanigans. But still, I might try it anyways. Yep. So come and hop into that. It's always a great time, and I'll be attending this week. I wasn't able to attend last week, but I'll be there. So it's gonna be a good time. Other than that, thank you everyone who's a patron. And if you like the content that we create, go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon, and you can find the details for that on our website. Otherwise, we'll continue to provide all this great free content that we provide and the community for it. But other than that, thanks for listening and watching, everyone, and we appreciate you. And have a good rest of your day.
Bye.
I
Peace.